They say some disappearances fade with time, but others tighten their grip on the public imagination with every passing year. And when an 18-year-old high school senior named Natalee Holloway vanished on the island of Aruba in 2005, it wasn't just a missing person case. It became one of the most haunting, unresolved true crime mysteries in American history. Because even now, nearly 2 decades later, the world is still asking, what really happened on that final night? And more importantly, why have the answers always felt just out of reach? Natalee arrived in Aruba with her graduating class, 250 teenagers celebrating their final days of high school. A tropical paradise, warm ocean air, neon nightlife, and the classic YouTube true crime keywords: unresolved disappearance, mysterious last sighting, and unsolved case. None of them knew that within just 5 days, Natalee would vanish without a trace. No body, no clothing, no confirmed evidence. Just a series of conflicting stories, contradictory timelines, and one name repeated again and again: Joran van der Sloot. But before he became infamous worldwide, before the televised interrogations and years of speculation, he was just another local teenager spotted at Carlos and Charlie's, the same nightclub where Natalee was last seen. Surveillance footage captured her dancing, laughing, carefree. But who was watching her? And who followed her out into the warm Aruban night? As the story begins to unfold, the crime formula pushes us deeper into the reveal. The last known moments are widely reported, but what's often overlooked is how quickly the timeline fractures. Joran claimed Natalee was intoxicated, that she wanted to see sharks, that he left her on the beach around 2 a.m. But then, almost immediately, his story changed. He said he took her to the lighthouse. Then he said he didn't. Then he said she collapsed. Then he said he wasn't even with her. Why would an innocent witness shift his story so many times? Was it fear? Pressure? Or the instinct of someone trying to stay one step ahead of investigators? The investigation phase is where the case becomes tangled. The Aruban police began searching within hours, but the initial efforts were plagued by delays, miscommunication, and a lack of forensic groundwork. Although Aruba is small, Natalee's trail disappeared almost instantly, as if swallowed by the island itself. Investigators searched beaches, cactus deserts, the landfill, storm drains, and properties connected to the van der Sloot family. Thousands of volunteers combed the island. Dogs were brought in. Satellite imaging was used. But the deeper they searched, the more the narrative fractured. And then came the story about the fishermen's huts, the alleged location where Natalee may have been left. But this detail, too, eventually crumbled under shifting statements. So we are left asking, was this a real lead or another carefully constructed distraction? And it wasn't just Joran. The 2 brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpoe, were also entangled in the web. Arrested, released, arrested again, then released once more. Their cell phone records didn't match their statements. Their stories changed, overlapped, contradicted. Viewers familiar with unresolved true crime cases know this pattern well. When the timeline refuses to stay still, the truth is usually hiding in the cracks. Why were the brothers so inconsistent? Were they covering for someone? Covering for themselves? Or were they simply bad at telling a story that kept changing around them? As the mystery widens, the case becomes global. American media outlets flooded Aruba. The FBI assisted. Tourism on the island plummeted. Everyone wanted closure, but closure never came. Every promising tip collapsed. Every confession was withdrawn. Every breakthrough evaporated on contact. Then there's the infamous tape, the undercover video where Joran, sitting in a car, described Natalee collapsing and being taken out to sea. But even this so-called confession was later disowned by him. He said he lied. He said he was high. He said the story was meant to impress someone. So again we ask, was it a lie or was the lie the denial? Why does every path forward lead to another dead end? But the most disturbing twist came years later, when Joran van der Sloot murdered Stephanie Flores in Peru. The brutality was undeniable. The confession was immediate. And suddenly, the question that had lingered for years took on a chilling new weight. If he was capable of that, what else had he concealed? Yet despite his violent history, despite his own father's questionable involvement, despite the mountain of inconsistencies, no one has ever been convicted for Natalee Holloway's disappearance. No remains have ever been found. No physical evidence has ever confirmed what truly happened. And so the mystery survives, untouched by time. Today, viewers of unresolved true crime documentaries continue to debate the same haunting possibilities. Did Natalee die accidentally? Was she harmed intentionally? Was there a cover-up? Did corruption interfere? Or did someone with influence erase part of the investigation's truth? And here's the question that pulls people back into this case again and again. One that true crime fans, sleuths, and cold case investigators still whisper. Could Natalee's story have ended differently if those first crucial hours and days had been handled differently? Every unresolved case creates a shadow. But Natalee's case casts a silhouette so sharp that even after all these years, it feels like something, some tiny, overlooked truth, is still waiting to be found. Something someone knows. Something someone saw. Something someone is still hiding. Because disappearances don't stay perfect forever. Lies crack. Old secrets resurface. People talk. And sometimes years later, a single mistake collapses an entire wall of deception. Which raises the final lingering question. Is the Natalee Holloway case truly unsolvable? Or is the answer lying somewhere in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to break free? If you want more deep-dive, unresolved true crime investigations, mysterious cold cases, and analytical breakdowns that keep the conversation alive, tap subscribe, turn on notifications, and settle in. Because some mysteries demand a second look, and this one isn't finished yet.